friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on today's video. Today we are talking about wardrobe resets. So I have received a lot of comments from you guys still asking where I get my clothing from and where I shop. Now, I don't typically shop anymore unless it is secondhand and thrifting, but because you guys are asking this so frequently and you're mentioning that you're wanting to replace a ton of stuff in your wardrobes and do a wardrobe refresh or reset, whatever you want to call it, I thought I would do an actionable guide and a step-by-step process for you guys to share exactly how you can achieve a wardrobe reset in a more intentional and sustainable way. Unfortunately, the desire for a wardrobe reset stems from the idea of disposability. And the idea of disposability in the fashion industry and realm is basically that the clothing that we wear and buy is disposable. So it's a use and discard type of item. And unfortunately, this is a very wasteful and unsustainable way to view fashion because it is what fuels the fast fashion industry, which in turn leaves billions of garments that are mostly made from plastic in the landfills every single year. Not to mention the other ramifications that are, impacting the environment in negative ways, the waterways in these third world countries, the human rights issues that are associated with the garment workers who actually make our clothes. And so this is a very, very big topic, but I completely understand the desire to want to refresh your wardrobe. It's really difficult in our society today to be happy with what we have because we are constantly bombarded with new things here, there, everywhere, and seeing a ton of different things online when we step into the social media world. So because wardrobe resets and refreshes can be very wasteful if they're not done with intention, I'm actually providing you guys with 5 different reflection steps and actionable steps that you can take within these reflections to do a wardrobe reset in a more intentional and thoughtful way. The very first question that I want you guys to ask yourselves if you are wanting to do this is whether or not you know what your personal style is. If you do, that's awesome. You can already get started. And if you don't, then you want to reflect a little bit more on why you want to do a wardrobe reset. Are you motivated by what you're seeing on social media? Is the way that you dress mostly trend driven? Because if it is, then you are definitely in this toxic cycle that the fast fashion industry wants you to stay in. So take a few moments just to think about that and figure out if you know what your personal style is or not, because that will definitely tell you what your motivator is for wanting a wardrobe reset. So along those lines, reflection number 1 has to do with the question, what sparked your interest in a wardrobe reset? There are many different factors that could, spark this desire to want to completely redo your wardrobe, and it's normal, okay? Everybody goes through it. I have personally gone through it, but if we don't think about these things, then it's really, really easy to impulsively buy and get rid of things in very unsustainable ways. So think about these following factors and ask yourself which ones feel true to you. Do you have the fear of missing out because of what you are seeing on social media from the people that you follow, including influencers, which are definitely a very, very big influence? Do you feel the need to compare yourself to the people around you and keep up with the Joneses? Do you feel like you are wanting to refresh your wardrobe because of a lifestyle or a career change? Has there been a change in your clothing size and measurements that is requiring you to do a reset? Have you outgrown a particular style and are wanting to revamp your personal style? So I would definitely recommend that you grab a notebook and a pen and just sit down for a few minutes and really go over those to discover why you're wanting to do a wardrobe reset. Sometimes we get these ideas and we get these desires, and with a little bit of reflection, we can actually take a step back and view them from a different perspective. So that's my hope for this first portion of reflection. And once you're done that, you can step into the next one. The second reflection question is, are there any items currently in your wardrobe that you absolutely love and wear all the time? This is going to be an indicator of your genuine personal style. The items that we gravitate towards the most and wear the most are definitely going to hint into our personal preferences and tastes. So for example, you might strongly value comfort, and so the clothes that you gravitate towards are very comfortable and make you feel confident because you feel good when you're wearing them. Another way that you could view your clothing is valuing sophistication. So you might like to wear blazers a lot, you might like to wear trousers, and so those might be the items that are most worn in your wardrobe. So assess your wardrobe as it is, including clothing, shoes, and accessories, and figure out which items you actually genuinely love and are wearing all the time. The actionable step for this reflection portion is to actually take those items that you really love and wear all the time and put them in a pile. By doing this, you are going to kind of isolate these items and make sure that they are separate from everything else that you are looking at, and it's definitely going to help you further down the road when we go into the next action steps. The third reflection question is, out of the clothing that is now left in your wardrobe, including accessories and shoes, why is it that you are not wearing these items as much as you would like to? And why don't you gravitate towards these items? So a few different things that could be a factor in this are the sizing of the items, the fit of the items, the colors or the patterns, whether or not they are too juvenile or too old for you, if they are worn out or damaged, if they are not flattering to your body type, or if they are uncomfortable. So this next action step is to actually separate these items into two different piles. Pile number one is going to be based on the sizing, fit, and whether or not the items are worn out, but they would actually be worn by you if they were still in good condition. The second pile is going to be all of the items that you don't wear because of the color, pattern, whether or not they are too juvenile or too old for you, if they are not flattering, and if they are uncomfortable. Again, by putting these into two separate piles, it's really gonna help you do your decluttering process and figure out what you want to avoid when you actually go shopping. Okay, so reflection number 4 is dealing with these piles. So pile number 1 is full of items that you would probably still wear if they fit you properly and, you know, were flattering to your body, and also if they were not damaged or worn out. This is going to be a really great indicator of the styles and just the clothing and pieces in general that you do still love and would wear. So ask yourself the following questions. Will I fit any of these items again? Can I replace any of these items that are too worn out to wear right now? Can I repair any of these items to be worn again? Okay, now looking at pile number 2, these are the items that you definitely want to steer clear of. So now we have gone through and picked out the items that you love and are still going to wear. We've picked out the items that you can't technically wear right now because of the sizing, the fit, and maybe they're too worn out, but we know that you like the styles. And now we are left with this pile of items that you probably will never wear again. And this is a fantastic indicator of the types of styles and clothing and accessories and shoes that you should steer clear of when you are actually searching for fresh new pieces to add to your wardrobe. So take a look at this pile and take note, even write it down in a notebook, of the colors, the patterns, the styles, the fit, and all of these other things associated with the items in that pile so that you can stay away from them when you're actually looking for new pieces. All right, the next action item is to deal with pile number 2. So this is the stuff that you now want to get rid of. You don't want to keep this in your wardrobe because you're not going to be wearing them, right? You don't want to have clutter in your wardrobe. It's going to make you feel overwhelmed. And actually, by removing these items, you might just find that you have everything you need from the other 2 piles that you already have kept. But this pile number 2 needs to be taken care of in a sustainable and intentional way. So I've got a few different pointers here on what you should and should not do when it comes to getting rid of these items. So on our do not do list, we have do not send bags full of stuff to Value Village or similar consignment shops that resell donated items. Although this is a good alternative if you're just getting rid of a few items, thousands of these items still end up in landfills, so this should not be your very first choice when you're trying to get rid of items. Second, you do not want to donate all of the items without giving them a second thought. Just like point number 1, a lot of these donation centers will just send these items to the landfills if they are not needed and cannot find a new home. So this definitely should not be your first choice of discarding the items. Here are a few different things that you can do with the items that you are trying to get rid of. Assess if any of the items are in unwearable condition and take them out of the pile. Place them in a bin that can be stored and post them on Facebook Marketplace, Garage Sale, Poshmark, Depop, or similar secondhand selling platforms. Host a free-for-all closet giveaway for your family and friends, and you can even do a trading event where you switch items that you no longer wear, and it basically just ensures that the items are getting a longer life. If there's a charity or a foundation that you know is asking for very specific items, like winter coats or boots, etc., donate those items from your pile that are actually applicable. This will definitely be a better chance that the item will be given a second life because they are in demand. Give refurbishing a try. There are so many companies that take used items to make them into something new. So if you do your research and look for one near you, you can definitely give your items to them for recycling and refurbishing purposes. Or alternatively, you can try your hand at recreating something new from these old items. Okay, now we are on reflection step number 5. So before you go out and buy things, it's really important to actually try using what you own for an extended amount of time. Now this is going to be different for everybody, but I personally feel like a month or 2 is a good way to just see if you're using what you own and if you find yourself needing items. And the keyword here is needing, okay? And this can be based on, your career. It could be based on your lifestyle and what you do in your spare time. Sometimes we are in need of items. If you work out a lot and you only have 2 pair of leggings, then maybe you do need a 3rd pair because they're actually going to be used. So wear your items, what you already own and are in your existing wardrobe for a month or 2, and make a list of the items that you find yourself needing. Another great way to figure out what you might want to add into your wardrobe in the future is by borrowing items from the people that are around you. So if you live with a spouse or maybe siblings, your family, try borrowing items from them. And if you find yourself gravitating towards a specific style or item, then this could be a good indicator that that specific item would be something very valuable and useful in your wardrobe. So take note of it. Now, alternatively, you don't need to buy something brand new if you know you're always going to be able to borrow an item, but ideally you wouldn't be keeping that item in your wardrobe if it is somebody else's. And if you find yourself wearing it quite frequently, then it's probably better that you just get your own so that the person you've borrowed from can use their item. Okay, now a couple rules of thumb for when you do actually start shopping. Do not shop with a ton of things on your list, okay? Don't go in and impulsively buy every single thing that's on your list, because realistically, you want to take time choosing those items. and you probably won't be able to find high quality stuff all in one go. And the second rule of thumb is to never go shopping without a plan, because this is definitely just gonna leave you with a burning hole in your pocket and a ton of impulsively purchased items that are not high quality and are probably going to be discarded of later on. Instead of going to the mall, your local mall and stores around you, when you are finding that you're wanting to shop, try shopping secondhand first. This should always be your go-to #1 choice because it is the most sustainable when you are looking for new items to wear. I shouldn't say most sustainable. There are other options like refurbishing and using what you own and borrowing from people, but if you are actually in the process of buying something, secondhand is better than brand new. So check out Facebook Marketplace, Garage Sale, Poshmark, Depop. There are tons of other ones online, and take a look there. Save items and see if you can get lower prices. It's quite a thrill actually, and it makes the whole experience very fun. Another rule of thumb is to avoid fast fashion when you are doing a wardrobe reset. If you are doing a wardrobe reset, you want to make sure that the items you are acquiring in your wardrobe are going to be high quality and are going to last you a long time. And if you're going to fast fashion for this, just stop right there, because it's just not gonna work out. There may be items that look like they would be good capsule wardrobe items and that they would last a long time and whatnot, but realistically, these fast fashion brands are producing trends. So you're not gonna find something that is super high quality and a classic fit or silhouette, because that's just not their mission. Like, that's not what they create. So take time, look for more sustainable alternatives, and just be intentional about where you are shopping. And last but not least, my final tip is to take care of what you own. When you are taking care of your items, you really grow a greater appreciation for what you own, and in turn, it helps the items last longer as well. This has been something that I've learned over the past 1.5 years, and I am so grateful that I did, because I definitely do appreciate what I own much, much more. So personally, I feel like the whole idea of a wardrobe reset is not sustainable, and it definitely requires a change in perspective and a shift in mindset in order to understand why that is. So take time to educate yourself if you are on the fence about doing a wardrobe reset, because it costs money, you guys, and there are also other ramifications that are involved, right? It's not just you getting rid of clothes, it's what's happening to those clothes and what's happening to the planet when you do get rid of them. So educate yourself, just be aware of what you're doing, and understand that every choice you make actually has a greater impact. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below because I do post every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.